Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Metal video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the God of Destruction Beerus Saga stage of the Vegeta'S Story Edition Red Zone event. The God of Destruction Beerus stage is really interesting. He has 420 million health, half a million normal attacks, 70,000 for his defense, although that's not too important, though he does have 70% damage reduction, 1.4 million supers. His attack and defense go up by 50% after receiving 15 attacks. He disables evasion and attacks are guaranteed to hit, and he locks character switching. So he does a hell of a lot, and he can be very, very tanky. Obviously, to counteract this, one of the cool things is that Beerus is only one typing. So although he's tough, you can bring a very tech-heavy team, and this mitigates, to a larger extent, a lot of his power increase. Because when you bring a team that's tech, or guarding, or presenting as tech, then what happens is you end up in a situation where you have quite a reliable level of team that can soak damage a bit, because they'll all have that 1.5 mil multiplier, which generally speaking helps out a lot. So obviously that's what I would at least state is the best method to try and make your team heavily tech focused, and this should give you a good chance at winning. And this is why I built a Vegeta'S Saga team. Not only does Vegeta'S Saga have some pretty strong tech units, being SS3 Gotenks, Martian Vegeta, but it also has some really strong tech friend units that we can bring, like the Tech LR Goku and Vegeta Angel, being the Tech LR Vegeta unit that obviously gets his really strong power up when he transforms, and will do insane levels of damage to Beerus once he transforms. In fact, the friend unit, or the Vegeta, is going to do a ton of hard carrying here. From the initial phases, being able to do good damage and build up attack and defense, to obviously the eventual transformation, which will do a tremendous amount of damage overall because of the counter mechanism that will take advantage of Beerus firing a ton of attacks and the tech type advantage that he has. Not to mention the active skill, the critting, and the overall level of power that Vegeta has means that we'll be able to do some good damage. But that's not the only units that we have. We have the AGL Vegeta after his Super Easy A, another great unit that will enable us to boost the rest of the attack of our team. It is important to note that counters will count towards Beerus's 15 attacks that he requires for his attack and defense to go up by 50%, and this is actively something that you do have to manage quite importantly. The Super Easy A for SS3 Gotenks likewise is also something that is very helpful, and something that I highly suggest players also consider when they bring their team. That Super Easy A means that he's already quite strong. When you combine it with his damage reduction and evasion mechanisms, he can do some pretty good defensive positioning, but also be pretty solid from an offensive standpoint as well. But ultimately, the entire stage and the entire premise of the stage, or at least from this team build, is to get out the Tech LR Vegeta and to have him do pretty much all of the heavy lifting. The more damage he does, the better it's going to be, and ultimately he will hard carry us to victory. So that's one of the major benefits of building a Vegeta'S Saga team, or any team where you can utilize him as a friend lead. I do have my own, but I wanted to really try and beat this with just utilizing the friend lead to see firstly if it would enable people to win, secondly also seeing if it obviously gave us enough clearing space to allow other players to kind of just build their team around him. And for the most part, you can pretty much just use items, build your way up to the point where you can use the Vegeta, and then once you do that, you pretty much are guaranteed to win, which for the most part is a pretty good and relatively reliable game plan when it comes to causing damage. So because of that, honestly, what I would say is that's kind of the best method to go with. If you can build a team that can incorporate the tech a la Vegeta, you should be able to beat Beerus without any real difficulty. I think outside of that, you could have some problems, but ultimately I think Beerus is quite manageable when you consider, the fact that he's one singular typing. I can't emphasize it enough, but the fact that he is only one type is an absolutely huge construct and focal point of team building. It means that you really can trust tech units to reduce damage that they take from Beerus quite substantially, and for this reason I find that building your team with a tech focus really gives you a strong grounding where you don't have to worry so much about what Beerus is doing, and you can more just worry about getting your units in the right positions and letting them build up over time. Even Beerus is 50% attack and defense up, which would push him into a pretty high bracket, 2.2, 2.3 million supers, and even his locking or switching aren't mechanics that feel too terrible when you have a bunch of tech units floating around that can tank to a decent degree. Of course, doesn't mean that it's a be-all end-all situation. Sometimes you can still struggle, even with the fact that you have a very tech-heavy lineup, but it is something that I will say is generally speaking easier to handle with a tech-heavy lineup. So yeah, that's it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, take care, stay safe, and as always, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. So, take care, stay safe, and see you guys next time. Bye.